Hello, Friends podcast to introduce problem 7.16 in your AP Stats book, pages 478, 479. You should pause and read the problem if you have not. So we got a population of a college, and they have an opinion on this question about fees to support student interest groups. So things that I want you to know just looking ahead. All right, what this is hypothesizing, and unless they've actually asked every person, this is a hypothesis, is that 40% of all students oppose these fees. So that is my population parameter, P. That is an assumption about the population. Now what I can do is take some samples of size n. This is a number of students I asked the question. And when I ask that number, a certain number are going to say they either support or oppose. That is my random variable x, the number that say they support. And then I can find a p hat, which is just x divided by n. So p hat is my sample proportion, and p is my population proportion. So these are really important things going forward. I'm going to keep revisiting them, but these are things you should know right now and start getting used to. Further, it says that the probability that a student opposes this idea is 0.4, and since this is the complement of supporting it, so they either support, so O is the complement of S, it means the events are disjoint, okay, means they can't be independent, all right, and to find things such as what is the probability that each supportant what is the probability that A and B support? All right, well, that's a chance of 0.6, and that the third one opposes it, that's 0.4, and now I can simply use my multiplication rule to multiply this out, and I get 0.144. All right, in part B, they ask you to list all the possible outcomes. So things you should already know. There are two possible outcomes to this event, support or oppose. I'm choosing 3 random students. So there are 2 to the third, or 8 possibilities. So first of all, I should be able to use multiplication to just get that number of possibilities. And second, I should be able to list them all. So that's what I've done here. And then I want to give the probability of each of these outcomes. All right. So if it was SSS, that would just be 0.6 to the third power. All right, so that one is 0.6 to the third, and you can do the math on your calculator. Now I have 3 different ways that I can have 2 supports and 1 oppose. These right here. So for this one, all of them, so it's going to be 0.6 squared times 0.4. I multiply this out, and this is the probability of any of those things happening. For these, the ones with 1 supporting and 2 opposing, that probability is going to be 0.6 and then 0.4 squared. I multiply, and that's the probability. And then last but not least, okay, this would just be 0.4 to the third power. Okay, so that's how I find the probability of each. Right. Part C, now you're just taking the same information you just did. So the possible values that X can take, I could have nobody support. I take that back. This says the number of students who oppose. All right, I could have none oppose, 1 oppose, 2 oppose, 3 oppose. All right, and now from the previous problem, you can just list those probabilities. Now remember, this can only happen in one way. All right, this can happen in 3 ways, this can happen in 3 ways, and this can happen in 3 ways. So those individual probabilities that I told you, you have to multiply these by 3, and this one, they can just be the probability that you found. And you fill in the numbers, and that's your probability. And then part D, you have to express that the majority oppose. Well, the majority would be 2 or more. So what's the probability that X is greater than or equal to 2? And then you're going to add those probabilities from your probability table right there.